is going to be entered into the next question that pops up at the end. So in that next question, after you select that you're doing a post claim for ET, it's going to ask for the enabling technology amount, and the requested amount must be in the prescribed format for automation to work. Be diligent in your submissions to avoid errors, since this will delay your payment processes. So again, you're going to put the exact dollar amount that you're submitting for with regards to how much you paid for that enabling technology. Remember, ET post-claims invoice submission must include proof of purchase. These payment requests will include the email approval notification that contains the requested amount, the invoice including that specific amount, and the proof of purchase that confirms the reimbursement amount. So it's really important to have that proof of purchase with that post-claim. So the 3 required documents for ET payment processing is the invoice with the actual amount, the approval email that you get automated from the pre-claim portal, and the receipt/proof of purchase, since ET is a reimbursement payment. Are there any questions about these updates to the pre-claim portal? Okay.
So this leads us into the invoicing claims. And so working towards the clean claim expectation, which is going to go into effect on July 1st of 2024. So moving forward, you're only going to be processing clean claims for invoicing, and billing is important for all. And so please make sure when you are submitting invoices to DIDD that you are submitting all of your supporting documentation and the items needed to process your claim. Harley, can you go to the next slide, please? So then if we receive an invoice and there's errors on the invoice, we will notify you of a denied invoice and send it back to you. And we are going to require a full submission of all requirements. And so all requirements being those approval notifications. If it's ET, we need the purchase plan on the invoice in order to process. And so if your invoice is denied, again, we will need you to resubmit the invoice.
Yeah.
So examples of these errors would be not submitting all applicable approvals. The wrong invoiced amount is on the invoice. You might be utilizing a duplicate invoice number. Your invoice is complete, and then we have no proof of purchase for the ET submission. So how we are going to continue to support these clean claim expectations is we are going to restructure the provider-led lunch and learn on June 12th into a transition guide exploration series where we will be reviewing these invoicing processes. So we will also utilize this opportunity to record our session and have it uploaded on the MAPS website under our exploration series tab. And then we will also conduct one-on-one invoicing training sessions with any providers that request that. Continued support is billing resource guide has been updated. And so we will make those noted changes available to you all and also re-upload the new version of the billing resource guide to the MAPS website. And then one last opportunity for this continued support and build out will be at our provider info session on June 28th. And then this is a great time to just remind you all with these invoicing claim notifications that we are almost at the end of our fiscal year. And so that please make sure all of your fiscal year invoices are submitted prior to June 30th so that we can process them for this current fiscal year. So we're expecting that invoices received in June will begin processing in July. So don't delay in submitting your invoices that you have currently ready to process. And then Rachel, go ahead and talk about the stakeholder training.
So we now have 2 trainings for stakeholders. These have been completed and are added in the enrollment welcome letter that's sent out whenever they're referred to the Charles Lee Center. They're also available on the DIDD website, and we are making our way to the Able link. So they won't be in visual impact. I met with them yesterday. We're going to look at it, putting it in a different training folder so that we can have all things that we train our participants on in one folder. So the agenda for the first training, so this is really just an introduction to MAPS, so a MAPS overview. We kept it very short. It's only 20 minutes. Again, it's available in the Welcome to MAPS letter, and it's on the website. This training is going to introduce the participant to the AbleLink apps, and then also start to discuss what enabling technology looks like. And then also will introduce the participants to who they're going to be working with. So the Charles Lee Center, providers, and then DIDD, and our name will be DDA pretty soon. The next training is also short, so only 20 minutes. This again is available in the Welcome to MAPS letter, and it's on the website. So with this training, this is more of an informative training, and we really start to help prepare them on what person-centered practices are. We give them some information about milestones, program expectations, and also start trying to help them develop some goals and start to look at what independence can look like for them.
So the Virtual Services Committee, we just wanted to provide a brief update. This committee is a monthly committee that's been meeting to collaborate on resources for MAPS Virtual Services. And it's been a great discussion of some really innovative practices and ways to incorporate some virtual approaches to MAPS services. So far, discussion within this committee has included the creation of an organizational readiness assessment for delivering virtual services. So what does it look like for you as a provider agency to kind of decide if you what resources you have within your organization to be ready for virtual services? And then also our participant virtual services assessment, that when people are interested and enrolling in MAP services, determining are they interested in MAP services, and then if they are, if they're interested in virtual services, do they have prior experience, and what kind of setup do they have with their own technology to be able to participate? We've been discussing kind of what a hybrid approach looks like and how to define that within MAPS. And then we've been working to create a virtual services guide for the MAPS program that we hope will in the future be a resource for the entire network as we continue to deliver virtual and hybrid services. And within this, we wanted to talk about one of our MAPS providers, Emory Valley, has been progressing with their implementation of employment services through innovative means. So kudos to Emory Valley for their continued progression and planning to implement innovative services.
So we are continuing to build out the employment service definition. And so one of our providers has been working on self-employment and traditional employment with one of our MAPS participants. So recognizing that this might be a path some of our MAPS participants want to take, we are now recognizing that for the employment milestones, we are not changing the employment milestones. There will still be 4 milestones available for MAPS participants to select through the employment path. However, we are making a self-employment path and a traditional employment path, so that if you have a MAPS participant interested in traditional employment, but also interested in starting their own business of some sort, they would be able to utilize the pre-employment milestone up to 2 times. So for the self-employment path, that pre-employment milestone would look like them developing a business plan, researching business opportunities under the business idea that they have. Following that employment milestones. So for the employment milestone, they would then work on executing their business plan. And then independence achieved would be they're continuing to work on utilizing their business plan, growing their business, expanding their business, things like that. They could also then potentially be working on traditional employment. Pre-employment for traditional employment would still stay the same as it is in the current model. And then same with the employment and then the independence achieved milestones. So just recognizing that there is an opportunity, and we understand this is not going to be for every single MAPS participant, but if you do have a MAPS participant interested in both of these paths, then they could be recognized for their independence growth with you all, as well as the provider agencies work towards supporting MAPS participants who might be working on both employment paths. These updates will be made available to you when we have the employment service definition finalized and published on the MAPS website, along with updates to the billing resource guide, recognizing these opportunities for you all. But we just wanted to make it known that if you did have a MAPS participant who is working on traditional employment but wants to also explore self-employment, that will now be recognized through the MAPS milestone progression. So then looking at our upcoming appointments just for your calendar, again, that exploration series covering the invoicing claims is going to be on June 12th from 11 to noon. The provider info session on June 28th from 10 to 11. The next VCRM advanced class is going to be held on July 10th. That is a live training class. Just a reminder, provider agencies, that you would enroll your staff through Relias into that course. And then that live course is held from 9 a.m. to noon. And then we are still working on what our next provider-led lunch and learn might be. So providers, if you have a great idea for us, please let us know. Or if you would like to present something you're doing with your MAPS participants at our next lunch and learn, please let myself, Carly, or Rachel know. And then looking towards July, your provider info session in July is on the 26th of July from 10 to 11. Again, all of these invites, we try to send them Monday prior to the session. So if you make note of these calendar invites or dates in your calendars, just know that your invite will be coming the week of the session. And then just as a reminder, that MAPS 360-degree feedback is always open for you to provide feedback, complaints, recommendations, suggestions, share some wins with your MAPS participants. Anything can be utilized on that feedback form, which is on the MAPS website. And then it's also here linked in the PowerPoint, which we will send out to you all with the recording at the conclusion of this session.
Okay, so we just wanted to give you guys an update on where we are with enrollment, just so you guys can have a better idea about referrals that might be coming your way. So right now, we currently have 261 participants. We might actually have more than that right now because this was done last week. Our target for 300 is in July. We hope to have 500 in December, 1,000 in December 25, and then to our goal of 1,250 in March of 26. We have 155 that show that they're enrolled here. We have 134 that were ineligible. We have 90 that are in service delay hold. We actually have 99 now, I believe, that are in service delay hold. So that means that those individuals are ready to be referred to the Charles Lee Center. We have 66 that are in planning in progress. So that means that they've already been referred to the Charles Lee Center and they're working on getting a provider. 45 that are being reviewed right now with their intakes. We've had 38 disenrolled. 9 have not been reviewed yet. And we have a few that are going to be transitioning from the Katie Beckett program or other long-term services, 2 pending disenrollment, and then 1 that is ready to be referred to the Charles Lee Center. So this is the milestone and incentive approvals. So there's been a lot of amazing things that are happening. We got to give Charles Lee a little round of applause here for approving all of these validations. So we've had 163 provider development enrollment incentives that have come through. 90, I think we're up to 100 now for the virtual community resource mapping. 32 milestone completion bonuses, 24 independence coaching, 21 employment innovation for pre-employment. We have hygiene and self-care at 17, community activities that have been approved at 10, 15 community relationships, 15 independent travel, 11 enabling technology approvals, 9 career development, 5 financial management, 5 health and med management, and then 3 employment. So this has really been a wonderful progression, as you can see here, just from February to April, with the amount of increases from 65 to 141 for the milestones that have been approved. I think that I saw that there's been actually like 373 that have been approved total. So this has just been since January. So we're making a lot of progress there. And again, thank you to Charles Lee and thank you to all the providers for getting those in. And if you guys have any questions, please let us know. This is the time to ask that, or you can reach out to your transition guides after our call today. Anybody got any questions for us? Okay, well, if we don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and give you guys the rest of your Friday. Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.